Hey kids, thanks for tuning in this evening. Tonight we're going to learn about if clauses and the conditionals. So let's get started. So for today's video, we're going to focus on 4 different forms of conditionals. We have the zero conditional, the first conditional, the second conditional, and the third conditional. This is a nice little cheat sheet you can use for later in the video. So let's start with the easiest conditional form. The zero conditional is always the if clause plus present simple plus present simple. We use it for general truths, habits, real-world application, and scientific facts. So, if it rains, the ground gets wet. That is always true no matter what. I invite you to think of something else that is always true you can put into a zero conditional form. Next, we have the first conditional, which is always the if clause plus present simple plus future simple. If we work hard, we will finish the project on time. It's used to express a real or very probable situation in the future. It refers to things that will possibly happen in the future if a condition is met. The first conditional is common when we are talking about possible plans, promises, warnings, threats, or for persuading someone. So, for some examples, if I go to Italy next week for work, I will visit the Colosseum. If I have time tomorrow, I will help you. The second conditional form is used for a hypothetical or unlikely situations, unreal or improbable situations now or in the future. For example, if I won the lottery, I would travel a lot. The form is always if clause, past simple, plus would and verb. The third conditional is used for imagining a different past imaginary situation that did not happen that would have an effect on the current situation. So, if you had studied, you would have passed the exam. If I hadn't been sick, I would have gone to your party. This is always if plus the past perfect tense as the if clause, and the main clause is would have past participle. This is an excellent little cheat sheet that you can use to easily identify the type of conditional you are speaking or reading. So type 0, which is always true, is if simple present plus simple present. Type 1 is always simple present if clause plus simple future main clause. Type 2, simple past if clause plus would main clause. Type 3 is if past perfect tense clause plus would have past participle. These are the only 4 we are looking at today, but you can also check out the mixed type on the bottom right-hand side. So, for all of your future conditional needs, please come back to this screen as well as this screen. This has all of the uses as well as the forms and an example to go along with each of these. Now, let's begin. So, as we have gone over before, the zero conditional is if plus the present simple, and the main clause is the present simple. If I am late for school, my teacher gets angry. It's always true no matter what. If I oversleep, I missed the bus. If I missed the bus, I am late for school. If I am late for school, my teacher gets angry. First conditional. If plus the present tense for the if clause, and the main clause we can use will, can, may, must, and a verb. If I go to London, I will see the Big Ben. If I go to London, I will see the Big Ben. If I go to Buckingham Palace, I can take a photo of the Royal Guard. If you go to London, you must look right before crossing a street. Second conditional. We have the if clause, which is if plus the past simple form, and the main clause, which could be would, could, might, plus a verb. If I were an astronaut, I would travel in a spaceship. If I were an astronaut, I would travel in a spaceship. If I traveled in a spaceship, I would go to Mars. If I went to Mars, I would meet a Martian. If I met a Martian, I wouldn't understand him. I have been there. If I didn't understand him, I would come back to the earth. And finally, third conditional. The if clause is always if plus past perfect tense, and the main clause could be would, could, or might, plus have, plus the past participle. If I had studied hard, I would have passed my exams. See, past is the past participle form of past. If you had studied hard, you wouldn't have failed your exam. If you had passed your exam, you could have gone to the beach. If I had gone to the beach, I would have made sandcastles. Still paying attention? Good. Now we have some work we're going to go along together with and practice our zero conditional and first conditional. So let's go ahead and work through these conditionals together. We're practicing the zero, first, and second. Take a second to refresh your mind about how we use these. The zero conditional to talk about facts. First conditional to talk about the events that are probable and real to happen. And the second conditional to talk about unreal future events. I want you to match the haves using the zero conditional. So, these will always be true. For example, number 1, if you heat water, it's really hot. Well, yes. If you heat raw water, he's dead. No. It gets rusty. No. They die. No. It melts and changes into water. Not quite. It means it's night. No. It boils. If you heat water, it boils. Excellent. Now, take your time, match the remaining 9, and we will go through together. If you are in Africa, it's really hot. If it's freezing cold, It means it's winter in Poland. If the man is not breathing, he's dead. If the moon shines, it means it's night. If you don't eat raw, you are hungry. If you heat ice, it melts and changes into water. If you leave metal out in the rain, it gets rusty. If you put money into the machine, it gives you a ticket. And if you don't water the flowers, they die. Excellent. So, exercise 2. Complete the sentences using the correct form of verb from the brackets. And we'll use the first conditional form here. So, the verb in the brackets. If you blank English, you blank work in England. If you learn English, you will be able to work in England. They borrow a bus if they want to travel around the world. They will borrow a bus if they want to travel around the world. If she practice regularly, she play very well. If she practices regularly, she will play very well. He not need an instrument if he be a good singer. He won't need an instrument if he is a good singer. If I share it with my friends, I enjoy the music more. If I share it with my friends, I will enjoy the music more. If they come to their house later, their mom cook them dinner. If they come to their house later, their mom will cook them dinner. If you not be able to play volleyball, you arrive late. If you aren't able to play volleyball, you will arrive late. Her parents take her to the beach this summer if she not fail any tests. So where does the will go? Her parents will take her to the beach this summer if she doesn't fail any tests. And lastly, if you go shopping after school, you buy a magazine. If you go shopping after school, you will buy a magazine. Excellent job! Now let's practice the second conditional. Doing the same thing as we did for the first, we have if I study harder, I get to Oxford University. Excellent job today, paying attention. Now I'm going to show you the web page for the homework. The link will be below the video, and you'll be able to do all 4 exercises. So this is what the web page looks like. It's perfect English grammar, and we have some exercises for all of the conditionals. We are going to focus on the first, the second, the third, and the 0. We can do all 4 of these in our downtime. Now, when you open these links, it will bring you to an exercise like we did earlier in the video. Finish all 4 of these, and if you'd like, there are other exercises for other grammar points as well. I hope everybody's staying safe and sane at home. Here is the homework, and tomorrow the lesson will be over media. Have a great evening.